Wait. Maybe. Oh. Okay. Okay, so you can hear me. Actually, I'll leave, well, I'll just leave that as low as physically possible. Alright, let me turn my AC off, because that's freaking loud. Okay. So, I was just gonna record this as a video, but my camera's battery is dead. So here I am, live streaming. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute myself, because that's gonna drive me nuts. So, as you can probably tell by the title and the background image, today I'm going to be talking about Joseph Christensen, from the game Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. It feels silly to be talking about it, but honestly I think this is probably the best way to do it, so I can like talk to people about it too. I can talk to you guys, so if I say something and you want to chime in, please don't hesitate. Like, say something. I have live chat like most people who live stream, so please chime in. Let me know what you think about this dad. But yeah, so basically, when this game came out, and this game, oh my god, it's only been out, guys, for like, what, 2 months now? Like, not even? It hasn't been out for very long. Oh my god, I feel like it's not even been 2 months. Has it been just a month? Has it been a month? I don't even know. I don't remember when I bought it. It doesn't matter. This game has not been out for very long. And it's, for anyone who doesn't know, Dream Daddy is a daddy dating simulator. So basically you are a dad, you have a daughter, her name's Amanda, she's wonderful, and you move into a new home on the other side of town into this cul-de-sac where you are surrounded by hot dads. And you can date them. And it's more along the lines of a visual novel than it is a dating simulator, even though it's called a dating simulator. I won't get into the specifics of it. It doesn't matter because it's a fun game. Like, I'm not here to debate whether the game is good. I'm not here to debate, you know, well, because it has this and this flaw, therefore it's not a good game. Look, I am not a frigging game critic. I don't know shit about making games. Pardon my French. But there has been, like, this fandom, and I don't really consider myself to be part of many fandoms. Like, I'm kind of always from the perspective of, like, an outsider looking in. Like, I don't usually get super involved in stuff. I'll make, like, obviously I made, like, a Yandere Simulator video, and, like, I've done Heather's stuff. So, like, I like things, and I'll contribute to fandoms, but I wouldn't consider myself to be, like, a huge part of them. And the Dream Daddy fandom has, in some ways, kind of cemented that philosophy for me. It's completely batshit insane. Like, to the point where there was an artist getting death threats, like, 10 days after the game was released, for making gender-bent, like, versions of the characters. I'm not gonna get into that. This is not what this is about. I'm sure if you guys are familiar with Dream Daddy and are on Tumblr or Twitter, literally at all, you've seen it. So I'm not gonna get into that. That is not what we're talking about today. But just so you guys are totally aware, like, I know that this game carries quite a bit of baggage already. My god, it had baggage like before it even came out, just with people who like didn't like the Game Grumps, because it was produced by the Game Grumps, who are some of my favorite YouTubers, I'm gonna be honest. I've been watching them since the JonTron era, so I freaking love these guys. So literally anything they could put out, I'm gonna probably enjoy. Just the writing is clever, you know, I mean, obviously they didn't write it, but they had part in it. So today we are talking about Joseph, who is kind of the poster child of the game. I mean, he's not like, I wouldn't call him the main dad. I don't think there is a main dad. But he's definitely, I mean, he's like in the middle, at the beginning, in the opening sequence, you know, he's a very, I don't want to call him like a stereotypical, they're all like stereotypes, right? But he's the pretty like stereotypical white picket fence, you know, American dream, good Christian kind of dad. And he is also the only dad who is married. And he's married to a lady named Mary. Of course, Joseph and Mary, haha, very funny. So, the issue that a lot of people have with Joseph, and I don't necessarily disagree with this issue, but just bringing it up, is that basically Joseph has, so far in the game, no really good ending. You know, and the game is very sweet, it's very soft, it's not super smutty. I mean, there's a couple of, like, implied sex scenes, but you don't really see anything. You know, it's pretty bare bones in regards to sexual or sexually explicit content. Like, there's not a lot of sexy stuff happening. I mean, they're good-looking dads, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not, like, it's not porn, right? Which I appreciate, personally. I mean, I would have liked it either way, but the fact that I feel like I can play this, like, with, I literally played this game with my sister. That was awesome. Why you got buffer? Why you got buffer? I'm sorry I and a lot, because I don't know how to communicate. But so basically the thing with him is that he has no good ending. And there's a lot of theories as to why he doesn't have a good ending. There's been interviews. I'm not going to sit here and quote things like I'm some kind of expert on the subject. I'm kind of just here to talk about, like, my opinion and get some other people's opinions and sort of just feel things out. Hold on one sec. I won't be surprised if my internet straight up just shits the bed. Honestly. Because that's what it do. Frequently. Function, please. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Didn't realize I had it up on two. Let me just close that one. I'm just gonna keep talking because I don't even care if the live stream isn't gonna function right now. Because this is gonna be uploaded later anyway. Alright, so Joseph has no good ending. Really no good ending. Basically, I haven't gotten both of his endings. I've gotten his bad ending, but I haven't gotten his good ending yet. But I've seen his good ending. So basically what happens is you romance... Spoiler alert. If you haven't romanced Joseph, you haven't seen videos, and you don't want to know what happens, don't watch this. Okay? Okay. Covered my bases here. So... This is my phone. Just getting a text. So basically what happens when you romance Joseph, like the first couple of dates, I use dates very loosely because they're not very, datey. But the first couple of dates, you basically hang out with him, do things with his kids, help out with the church. I'm actually showing an image from, I believe this is the second date, where you help out with a church function. A dance. I think it's a church function. Pretty sure it's a church function. But anyway, because he's a youth minister, of course. Even though he doesn't, I'm gonna get into that. So you go on a couple of dates. Everything seems chill. There's a lot of Jamie Buffett references. It's a good time. The third date, things get kind of weird, right? Things get weird. You're out on a yacht with him, and basically throughout the game, you get this feeling that his marriage with Mary is not healthy. Neither of them seem happy, and it's like no one's fault over the others as far as you can tell, just from the basis, they paint it very much in the game to make it seem like it's Mary's fault because she goes out almost every night, seemingly. She's hanging out with Robert a lot. She goes out drinking. She's flirting with other men. She openly flirts with you. So it's kind of this weird thing. And she, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, I think her sprite doesn't have a wedding ring when she's at the bar. It might, though. I really don't. I'm not paying attention to those kinds of details, okay? I'm not, this ain't no conspiracy. I'm just trying to state my opinion. So anyway, their marriage seems like it's on the rocks, and when you're on the yacht with Joseph, he basically tells you, Mary and I have decided that we're not going to be together anymore. We're going to, we're separated. I've been living on the yacht. She's been at the house with the kids. And it seems like, okay, no, that, sure, if he's happier that way, then he's happier that way. And then you share an intimate evening together. And, yeah. So the issue is not... The issue with a lot of people is basically when you get the endings, Joseph does not actually leave his wife. He basically tells you either Mary and I are going to work things out, I need to work things out with Mary for the kids, whatever, and he just straight up leaves you. Or he tells you Mary and I are going to work things out, but if you want to be my side piece, wink wink. Yeah. So far, those are the two endings that I've seen with Joseph. Correct me if there's one I'm not seeing, and do not bring up the cult ending, because we're not going to talk about the cult ending. The cult ending is, if it's even going to happen, it's not happening right now. So right at this moment, the cult ending is, as far as I'm concerned, not canon, and therefore is not considered in this discussion. Okay? Even though I put it in the tags, but I mentioned it, so that qualifies. So yeah, the big thing basically is that I've seen a lot of people ranting on Tumblr about how, oh, well, I think Joseph's a sweetheart and he deserves, to be happy, and I think there should be an ending where he leaves his wife and you get to, make him happy. And there's also a lot of things where I guess Joseph is considered a homophobic character because he is a youth minister and he's clearly at least bi, if not just closeted or pan or, whatever, wherever on the spectrum he lands. But I guess it's frustrating for, and I can't speak for this because, spoiler alert, I am not religious nor am I gay. So there's that. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt in that regard. But I guess the idea is basically it's unfortunate representation for people who maybe feel that they have to remain in the closet because of religious views, because they don't want to be disowned by the church, or because I know that at least Christianity can be very, and I say at least Christianity because that's the religion that obviously not obviously. I suppose I would be most closely associated. It's the religion that I'm surrounded by the most, in all honesty. It's the religion I see the most. It's the religion that I know the most about. Not that I know very much, but you get the idea. So, I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to claim something is homophobic. I'm not going to go out of my way to claim that something isn't homophobic. I don't really think it's my place to say. So I'm just going to leave that there. I personally am not offended by Joseph's endings. And I think I'm not concerned so much with the people who have a frustration because he's not able to live his full truth, as I'd like to call it. For one, he's a fictional character, so please take that into consideration. But I do understand the representation is important. I also think it's important to consider the fact that he is one of 7 openly, canonically LGBTQ characters in a game that's all about LGBTQ relationships. So that's a thing. But the biggest issue that I've been seeing, other than that, with Joseph's ending is just the frustration that he isn't leaving the marriage. And I think it's extremely important, and this, again, we're talking about a fictional character who doesn't exist, and he has an impact, sure, but it's not, like, what's going to be best for him is not relevant because he's not real. And I want to make that very clear. He's a fictional character. And obviously we always want what's best for our favorite characters. I understand that. My favorite dad is Hugo, and I want him to be happy. But I also acknowledge that he's fictional. And he doesn't have feelings because he's not real. So, you know. So yes, it's frustrating to see anyone, a fictional character, a real person, anyone, be going through something where they're clearly not happy, right? Things are clearly unhealthy. You want to see them in a better place, but they choose to not put themselves in that better place. And I think the most important lesson to learn from it, I don't know why I'm being so lectury about it. It's like, it's a video game. But I think the most important lesson to learn from it is that you can't make someone do what you think is right. You know, and if Joseph thinks it's better for the kids to stay with his wife even though he's miserable, you can't make him change his mind. And that's very true to life. And so in that way, I really appreciate Joseph's endings. I think that they're realistic. Not the cult ending. Again, we're not talking about the cult ending, but I think the fact that he looks at you and says, I can't leave my wife. I need to do what I need to do for my kids, for my family, for the community. I can't leave her. And even if it's not necessarily true, like he could, my phone is vibrating. I'm getting a phone call and I'm gonna ignore it. I'll finish this soon, I promise. Oh my gosh, now I lost my train of thought. I think that people would find that if they were truly put in the situation of having an affair with a married man, because that's what's happening here, is you as your dad Sona are having an affair with a married man, regardless if he lied to you, if he told you, oh, we split up, oh, we did this, oh, we did that. That's basically what's going on. The person might choose to not be with you. And that's okay. It's so hard to explain this, and it's frustrating because Joseph deserves to have a bad reputation in the community for other reasons. Like potentially lying to you, potentially lying to Robert. You know, there's lots of other story beats that make you think, wow, this guy's kind of a douche. And he is. He's not a good person. He's a fascinating character, but he's not a good person, and I don't think he's supposed to be. And I think there's a level of naivety there to think that everyone has to be fluffy and everyone has to be loving and perfect and willing to leave their wife and their family. And because it in the mind of someone like that, and I'm speculating here because I have never been in Joseph's shoes, nor will I ever be because I'm not a drawing. But it's very, very difficult to turn away from what you've always known, even if what you've always known is unhealthy. Especially when you know that it's going to hurt the people that you love. So, for Joseph, leaving his wife would also probably mean leaving his kids. And we all know that Mary is not a competent caretaker. I love Mary. I think she's hilarious. I think she's got her own stuff going on. You know, I'm not saying that she's in the wrong. I'm not saying Joseph's in the wrong. You know, they're equally not great for each other. But she clearly is not either. She's the person who puts the kids to bed and then goes out drinking, or she goes out drinking before the kids are even in bed, and Joseph has to take care of them by himself. Those are the two possibilities. Neither of them are ideal, but they're both very possible. So, leaving the kids in Mary's hands is probably a very scary idea to Joseph. And I'm not trying to defend cheating. I'm not trying to defend people who go out and do shady shit with other people. Like, again, I'm not saying that Joseph is a good person. He's not. He's not great. But all I'm trying to fruitlessly defend is the fact that Joseph has the right. And I'm not saying Joseph as a fictional character, but if he was a real person, let's play pretend here. If Joseph was a real person and all of this was really happening, he would absolutely have the right to look at the person he's with and say, I have to stay with my family. I'm not saying he's not gonna go out and do something again. I'm not saying that him offering to be like fuck buddies is not the good ending. It's not. Trust me, because that's the ending I got. You know, because I messed up on the first date. Look, I'm not saying I'm good at dating sims, but I think it's naive and I think it's selfish to assume that someone has to bend their life to suit the life that you think they should have. Do you understand? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I'm not saying that people who are upset about it are naive. I'm not saying that they're selfish. You have every right to be upset about it. It's a video game. You can be emotionally affected by fictional characters. That's fine. But I think that there's a lack of understanding when people turn around and take that and use it as a defense for maybe why the devs aren't competent, or why they think the game in general is bad because Joseph doesn't have a good ending. But I think I like Joseph's ending because it's real. Alright? That's what I'm trying to get at. Real people do this. Real people pull the kind of shit that Joseph pulls. Okay? And again, not talking about the cult ending. But real people do this. And I appreciate that. You know, just like how, like, spoilers for Craig's ending, like with Craig and real people get so caught up in everything that's going on in their lives that they forget to take care of themselves. You know, and I think that's what's so wonderful about Dream Daddy, and that sounds really silly to say, Daddy. But I think that's really wonderful. What's wonderful about Dream Daddy is that it's very honest in a lot of ways, and it's very real. Maybe not realistic in ways, but real. You know, you're not going to find yourself in a cul-de-sac full of attractive single gay dads. That would be beautiful, but you're not. But I think there's a lot to be said for tackling endings that aren't necessarily sugar-coated and aren't necessarily exactly what you wanted. But anyway, I have shit to do today, so I'm going to stop live streaming, but I just wanted to share those thoughts about Joseph's ending. You know, if you have thoughts on it, I would really love to hear them. I want to know what you guys think. Start a flame war in the comments. I don't care. I'm here for this. I'm here for the Dream Daddy debates. I'm thinking about doing some gameplay of Dream Daddy. If you guys want to see that, let me know too. I don't know yet. And, yeah. I will be back at some point to share more content with you guys, but, otherwise, have a fantastic day. Enjoy yourselves. Go outside if it's nice where you are. Go to bed if it's late where you are. Take care of yourself. And, don't get so upset about Joseph. He's just a dude. He's just trying to live his life and waste away in Margaritaville. Alright guys, keep it real. Ooh.